Hey guys, John here. In other videos, I've talked about the idea of allowing people to find their own way on their spiritual path. One of the things I want to talk about today is the concept of walking a spiritual path with others. When you awaken to the fact that you are one with God and that you are experiencing that loving source at the bottom of every breath, and you start experiencing a new spiritual journey, you suddenly start looking around, and usually what happens is there are certain people in your life that will have an issue with it or a turmoil with what you're doing or saying or believing. And those people are not in alignment with your journey. And one of the toughest parts about that is the idea of saying, okay, that's not where they are on their journey. It's where I am on mine. And I can love them and respect them for where they are, but realize that in this journey of your own, some people will fall away. In this journey of your own, you may decide to be very empathic for all the people in your life and try to keep every one of them in your life. And then you need to ask yourself, is this person really someone who is enhancing my spiritual journey? Is this someone who is hindering my spiritual journey? Is this someone who is disempowering me? Is this someone who empowers me? You need to start to look at the people around you and say, do they represent what I believe? And oftentimes you'll find that the people that you grew up with have a different belief than you. In my own family, there are people in my family who I will not talk about my spirituality with, because I know that they will implode. They're so invested in Catholicism that they don't see how harmful it is. They don't see how fear-based it is and how judgmental it is and how everybody else is wrong because they're right. And I know that I can't have the conversation with them because that's where they are on their spiritual journey, right? And in the end, they'll see all the judgment and fears when they cross over, and they'll experience it. And maybe that's why they're experiencing it. It's because in this life they wanted to experience that. So it comes down to your journey is your journey. Their journey is their journey. And if they're not in alignment with your journey and with your beliefs, then it's got to be okay to let them have their journey without you. It's got to be okay to let them go on and experience their world the way they're going to experience their world. Some of them are going to live fearful lives their entire life. Some of them are going to judge people for the rest of their life. Some of them are going to love people for the rest of their life. Some of them people are going to create joyful, happy experiences around them for the rest of their life. It's not your job to try to get the ones who are fearful to not be fearful anymore, because they have to make that leap. Your job is to make your part of the world beautiful. Make your part of the world beautiful. And when you make your part of the world beautiful, those people will eventually say, well, I don't like being here. I don't like being in this negative state. I'm such a negative person. I have a brother who I barely speak with, because he is such a judgmental, negative individual. And I have a hard time relating to him, because he judges everything and he looks down his nose at everybody, and it's based in his own personal faith and belief. And when I hear him speak about his religion, I hear him judge and be subjugated, and it's hard. It's hard to watch. But I don't have to walk his journey. He can be that negative person. He can be that judgmental person. He's allowed to. That's his choice. I don't choose to be that way. I don't choose to judge people by their faith. I don't choose to judge people by their beliefs. I choose to judge people by their actions, because we all do. We all naturally choose to say, I don't like how they're treating people. That's a judgment, right? But we don't have to invest in fighting it. We don't have to invest in arguing against it. If they're harming someone, you step in to love the person who's being harmed, and you help that person. And a lot of times it's helping that person get away from the people who are harming them. Push those people out of their lives. The people in your life need to be a representation of what your beliefs are. So if you can take your beliefs and realize that sometimes in your family there's going to be people who don't believe what you do. You don't have to hang out with them. You don't have to experience them. If it's a negative experience, you don't have to. You don't have to. You can love them from afar. You can literally say, I respect your beliefs. I respect your journey. It's not my journey. We don't mesh. So I hope you have a good experience, and you create a joyful life. And what happens next? You go on your life and you experience your life, and you have your own experiences. When I was a kid, I didn't get along with my dad, and we talked about that many times. He hated the fact that I did Renaissance festivals. He hated it. He was like, I should be doing this, you should be doing that, and he was telling me what I should be doing here and there, and he hated the fact that I did Renaissance festivals. And the interesting thing about that experience with him was, by going off and doing what I loved and doing the things that I enjoyed, I lived a huge life adventure. I have been all over the world. I've done all kinds of amazing things, and I did all the things. And at the end of my father's life, I think it was the last year he was alive. I was home in Delaware for Christmas, and I had to run out to the store to buy something, and Dad says, I'll ride with you, John. And it was like one of the first times ever in my life that he decided to ride with me. And at the time, I was wearing a jacket that was given to me by the military as a gift for going over to USO shows. And we walked into the grocery store, and I think we were buying eggnog at the time. And we got up to the counter, and my father never said a positive word to me ever. He says to the cashier, he says, see that jacket? My son got that from the military. I'm very proud. That was the kindest thing he ever said about me his entire life. That was the kindest word he ever said about me. Didn't say it to me. He couldn't say it to me. He knew that we did not have that relationship, and he knew that it was not something he could say directly to me. And and I recognized it. I said, oh, yeah, okay, he didn't say it to me. So at that point in my life, it was kind of like, didn't mean much to me, because it wasn't to me, and there was a lifetime of the opposite. And so my father was a man who did not gel with my beliefs and who I was. And so in my life, as I grew up and I got older, he was less and less in my life. And at one point I finally said to him, I'm done. I'm just done. Because every time I get near him, we would have an argument, or he would judge me, or he would say terrible things. And I would I'm just done. Right? But by following my heart and doing the things that I loved and living my expression of self, I did amazing things. 30 countries around the world. I've been to 30 countries around the world. In the pyramids of Giza, top of Machu Picchu, climbed Mount Sinai, swam in the blue lagoons of Iceland. I have experienced religious traditions in India and the Middle East, and I've traveled through Israel, Greece, Jordan. I've done all that travel. I have experienced love in massive forms. I've traveled the world doing that kind of thing. Everything I've ever wanted to do, I've done. But it never would have happened if I didn't surround myself with my personal passions and beliefs and love. And by doing that and setting the people aside who limited me or weren't in alignment with my passions and loves, I never would have done the things. I never would have experienced the life that I have so far. And my life is only getting better. My life is only I'm only doing more now. I'm only expressing more now. And in my past I've done all those things. In my future I'm going to do so much more. There's nothing stopping me from creating anything. And it's the same with you. There's nothing stopping you from creating anything. All you really need to do is step into the role of creator. Step into the role of, I am doing what I love. I am living my authentic self fully. And when I live my authentic self fully, then the world surrounds me. The world surrounds me with that loving, joyful expression and adventures. Live the adventure. Go out there and live the adventure. And be the experience that you want to experience. And enjoy your life. And don't let anybody hinder that. You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you go down below it right now and join in the comments section. Add a comment. Comment on someone else's. Let's get this community talking about these topics, and let's get this information out there. Also, if you really like this or you really resonate with some of the things that I'm saying on this channel, make sure you like, subscribe, and share, because this information is not about us holding it to ourselves. It's about spreading it out so we can change the perspective of the world, so people can find their own truths, and we can create a more loving world. So don't forget, like, subscribe, share, and comment. Let's get this community really growing. And that'd be great. And thank you for watching, and thank you for all your support of me. It has been absolutely wonderful. Thank you.